Distell is a producer and marketer of wines, spirits and flavoured alcoholic beverages.
Right, these are the boys from Stellenbosch. Remember, about a decade and a half ago, Stellenbosch Farmers Winery and Distell were put together into one consolidated company. So its controlling shareholders are the Remgro Group and SAB Miller. So this is a top company, but it has very limited liquidity.
Market cap, we are looking here at 38.5 billion rand, PE ratio 26.7, dividend yield of 1.96. Is it firmly on your radar screen?
It's a great company, but we already hold exposure to SAB and Remgro, so we get our exposure to Distell through those. It's because it has such big investors, also large shareholdings outside of the market, which is not liquid. It's always been trading expensive, so on the market. But I think that those sort of players in Remgro and SAB have much better negotiating power than I would ever have. So they'd be able to pick up those shares on my behalf at a much better rate, and that's what they've been doing, and they've been holding big stakes in that.
We don't have exposure to Distell.
No, and we've called it hot over the years, but we've never owned them, and it's for the reasons mentioned. So, I mean, Remgro already owns like 58% of the company, so they can't buy anymore. It would just be too embarrassing.
Leaving a relatively small free float.
SAB Miller, remember, offloaded its Soho Sun holding,
Yes.
and has sort of reorganized its Coke bottling operations. But normally when they're asked about this one, they say, no, this is liquor, so it makes sense for us to continue holding it. It's possible they may, be open to floating it or unbundling it, but it wouldn't really make all that much sense. I don't think they're under pressure to do so. But you can buy a few.
So
I mean,
it's
not
a good
totally
company. If you it's really the choice in the sector that is excluding it from either of your portfolios.
True. So I think just the mechanicals around it's why we don't hold. We already have exposure to it, so we're happy having exposure to it, and it's a good company. It gives you exposure to sort of a different array with the wines and the brandy, etc. That's very
And those
specific to
flavoured
South
alcoholic
Africa.
beverages.
Yes.
Yep, we've mentioned those
Savannah.
before.
Let's
Exactly.
just have a look at the share price performance here.
So it's sort of a bit spiky, and that's because occasionally people get carried away. So for a couple of weeks, somebody buys in some, and then they shoot up, and then it sags. But yeah, I mean, you mentioned the brand. Amarula is there, Chateau Libertas, Grassa, a lot of people who drink that. Klipdrift,
Yes.
eh?
No, well-known South African brands across the board. Amarula in particular has done very well.
Yes. it
And
has
is
also
becoming
abroad.
something of, I think, an export into the
true.
international arena.
And it's very much liked in Africa. It sounds from some of the reports I've read.
And then
That's I like
remember,
the Chateau
last year, or
Amarula
maybe it's
every now
more than
and
a year
again.
ago,
Yes.
they went and bought that big whiskey not brewing, what do you do with whiskey? Blending it.
Distilling.
Yeah, well, you distill it first, but then I think it's called Bunnahabhain. So they've actually bought their way into a fairly big player in the Scotch whiskey market on a global basis.
Hot or not?
I'm hot on it.
Paul, hot or not?
Yes, look, remember management team here. Remember, this is the guy that was the prefect when I was in Form 1 at Pretoria
Of course.
Boys
I'm
High.
surprised you
Richard
don't hold it in
Rushton,
the portfolio because of that.
Richard Rushton, but let me tell you, he's apparently one of South Africa's best corporate managers.
It was just because he was a
I'm
prefect
48, so
at
that
your
means he
school.
must be about 52 or 53. So he's in his prime and running this top company. How can we not be hot on it?